the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Armed Forces of the Philippines reaffirms readiness to evacuate Filipinos amid Middle East tensions. 31st Infantry Battalion declares stable peace and security in Rapu-Rapu, Albay. More countries eye joint oil gas exploration in the Philippines. Commission on Election issues guidelines for voters registration. Good day everyone, as well as our troops at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. Today is Wednesday, July 16, and we will bring you the latest news from the armed forces and other information around the Philippines. In behalf of Rof Suzon, this is Jhai Simbajon for AFP Community News. DWDD Armed Forces News. And the Armed Forces of the Philippines reaffirmed its readiness to respond to any escalation in the Middle East following the recent death of a Filipino in an Iranian strike. AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr. said contingency plans are in place, including the military standard non-combatant evacuation operations. According to him, transport assets such as C-130 aircraft and naval vessels are on standby and ready for immediate deployment should the situation call for another evacuation. He further noted that the AFP is reviewing and updating its operational plans to ensure they remain aligned with current global security conditions. The military is also conducting checks to ensure all aircraft and vessels are airworthy and seaworthy. DWDD Armed Forces News. And the 31st Infantry Battalion officially declared Rapu-Rapu Albay under stable internal peace and security during a ceremony held in Barangay Poblacion. Brigadier General Jose Ricky A. Laniog, commander of the 903rd Infantry Brigade, led the symbolic event, joined by local officials, residents, and representatives from government agencies and law enforcement units. A dove release highlighted the program, symbolizing a new chapter for the town. The SIP's declaration is the result of sustained cooperation among communities, barangays, and various government sectors. Moreover, the 9th Infantry Division hopes other provinces in the region will soon follow. DWDD Armed Forces News. Armed Forces Radio. From our reporter on the ground, let us hear the report of Gio about 103rd Infantry Battalion promotes PMA entrance exam during Balbalan Youth Week. Gio?
Charlie Company of the 103rd Infantry Battalion, Philippine Army conducted an information drive on the Philippine Military Academy entrance examination in celebration of Linggo ng Kabataan in Balbalan, Kalinga. The activity aimed to inform and inspire local youth about the opportunities offered by the PMA. Soldiers also showcased static displays to highlight Army capabilities and instill patriotism among participants. The initiative strengthened the Philippine Army's connection with the community and encouraged young individuals to consider careers in public service and national defense. This is Gio reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gio.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The 61st Infantry Hunter Battalion convened a security conference to tackle extortion threats from the communist terrorist group targeting construction firms in its area of responsibility. 61st IB Commanding Officer Lieutenant Colonel Arturo Balgos Jr. led a conference at Camp Monteclaro yesterday, which gathered representatives from 9 construction companies, including Pag-on Builders, A Dependent Construction, and F. Garia Construction Incorporated. The discussion focused on enhancing information sharing, strengthening security coordination, and boosting contractor confidence to ensure the continued implementation of infrastructure projects. The initiative also highlighted interagency cooperation as a critical element in countering insurgent threats.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And for our national news,
DWDD National News.
The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources reported that red tide contamination has now affected Matarinaw Bay in eastern Samar. This was in addition to the already impacted Dumangquillos Bay in Zamboanga del Sur and Tantanang Bay in Zamboanga, Sibugay. Authorities urge the public to avoid consuming shellfish from these areas due to the presence of paralytic shellfish poison. However, BFAR clarified that fish, squid, shrimp, and crabs from these waters remain safe to eat if properly cleaned and cooked.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
From 1st Civil Relations Group, let us hear more from Mel Jhai about 7th Infantry Division reaffirms commitment to peace and development at regional stakeholders confab. Mel Jhai?
Yes, Jhai, representing Major General Joseph Norwin D. Pasamonte, Philippine Army, Commander of 7th Infantry Division, Brigadier General Cesar A. Molina, Philippine Army, Commander of 702nd Brigade, emphasized the unit's steadfast commitment to peace and development during the Regional Stakeholders Conference. In alignment with the Philippine Army's National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict mandate and the National Action Plan for Unity, Peace and Development, as outlined under Malacanang's Memorandum Circular No. 83, the 7th Infantry Division continues to advance localized peace-building efforts. Through its ongoing initiatives, the 7th Infantry Division strengthens barangay-level services, supports the reintegration of former rebels, and foster unity within communities, building lasting peace, one village at a time. This is Meljo Inesio Arroco reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mel Jhai.
DWDD National News.
Energy Secretary Sharon Garin announced that the Philippines is considering multiple potential investors for joint oil and gas exploration not limited to China. In a Malacanang press briefing, she said companies from Australia, Israel, the United States, and United Arab Emirates have expressed interest, citing the country's sound policies and stable leadership. Garin emphasized that investors are cautious about disputed areas but are drawn to new contracts and the Philippines' favorable investment climate.
DWDD National News.
And the executive branch is moving to prevent a repeat of controversial insertions by lawmakers in the annual outlay. This as President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and the Cabinet approved a 6.793 trillion pesos national expenditure program for 2026. Budget Secretary Amina Pangandaman called on state agencies to stick to the agreed budget and not ask for more once Congress deliberates on the 2026 NEP. She added that agencies and departments must take into consideration that next year's budget is very tight, as she urged them not to demand additional resources from lawmakers when budget hearing commence.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear more from Angel about 14th Infantry Battalion responds swiftly to landslide in southern Leyte. Angel?
Jhai, the 14th Infantry Avenger Battalion of the Philippine Army, immediately deployed troops to Barangay San Ramon, San Ricardo, Southern Leyte following a landslide. Charlie Company under 2nd Lieutenant Janfer Porlas conducted search, rescue, and clearing operations supported by heavy equipment from private and local government sources. The unit coordinated with the Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office, executing forced evacuations and ensuring public safety. Operations continue as the road remains impassable and search efforts for a missing individual persist. This is Angel Cruz Camomot reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Angel.
DWDD National News.
The Commission on Elections has issued the guidelines for the nationwide voters registration in August. This is for the holding of the Barangay ng Sangguniang Kabataan elections in December. In its Resolution 11-15-5, the poll body set the activities, including the schedule, procedures, and limitations for the voter list up slated from August 1 to 10. The COMELEC noted that it will accept applications for new registration, change of name and status, correction of entries in the registration records, reactivation of registration records, inclusion of registration records, and reinstatement of name in the list of voters and transfer of registration records from a foreign service post to local.
DWDD National News.
And Manila 6th District Representative Bienvenido Abante Jr. filed a resolution calling for an investigation in aid of legislation into the cases of missing Sabongeros. He recommended that the Quad Committee led the probe. Abante said that the disappearance of the Sabongeros is comparable to extrajudicial killings. He emphasized that the issue transcends gambling and now involves matter of justice, accountability, the rule of law, and the value and dignity of human life.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And from 7th Civil Relations Group, let us hear from Mabes about NCRCom participates in Balitang A to Z Anniversary Drive, highlights West Philippine Sea advocacy. Mabes?
Yes, good morning. NCRCom participates in Balitang A to Z Anniversary Blood Donation Drive, highlights WPS advocacy. The National Capital Region Command participates in Blood Donation Drive held at Outlet Avenue Riverbank Center, Quezon City in celebration of the 4th anniversary of Balitang A to Z. The event is organized in partnership with local government units, health institutions, and community organizations as part of the network's effort to give back to the community and promote public health, underscoring its commitment to civic responsibility and service. As part of its engagement, NCRCom sets up an information booth to promote awareness of the West Philippine Sea advocacy. Donors and members of public are provided access to educational materials emphasizing the importance of national sovereignty and maritime security. The booth serves as a platform for public inquiry and learning about the government's ongoing efforts to uphold territorial integrity. The command's participation reflects its unwavering support for nation building through humanitarian action and civic education. With the assistance of health professionals ensuring the safe collection of blood, the initiative highlights the impact of multi-sectoral collaboration, bringing together the military, media, medical sector, and local communities to save lives, raise awareness, and strengthen national unity. This is Mabes Umaga reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mabes.
DWDD National News.
And retired Lieutenant General Zonel Estomo denied he is involved in the kidnapping and disappearance of missing Sabongeros. He also vowed to file criminal cases against whistleblower Julie Patidungan for dragging his name into the issue. Estomo, a former director of the National Capital Region Police Office, said he would not let Patidungan off the hook easily for besmirching his reputation. He added his lawyers are already preparing cases against these malicious and baseless accusations. Patidungan, also known as Totoy, accused Estomo of advising businessman Charlie Atong Ang to have him killed.
DWDD National News.
And Commissioner Ariel Nepomuceno has adopted an anti-conflict of interest policy in a bid to restore integrity and public trust in the Bureau of Customs. Nepomuceno said that the landmark policy would cover a wide range of illegal activities that are prevalent in the Bureau. He emphasized that his primary focus would initially be against custom officials and employees who are engaged or linked to customs brokerage operations. Nepomuceno added that this is not an easy job, but he will focus first on brokerage operations, saying that he will also look into the involvement of some customs personnel in the procurement issue, which includes manpower, service, and supply, among others.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
We have an update from Southern Luzon Command. Let us hear from Sena about 2nd Civil Relations Group holds photo and static display to commemorate 2016 arbitral ruling on West Philippine Sea. Sena?
in commemoration of the 9th anniversary of the Philippines' landmark victory in the 2016 arbitral ruling on the West Philippine Sea, the 2nd Civil Relations Group Civil Relations Service Armed Forces of the Philippines spearheaded a photo and static display exhibit at SM Lucena City. The said activity was graced by the presence of Major General Oliver C. Makiling, Philippine Army, Commander of the CRS-AFP. Held in coordination with the local stakeholders and partner government agencies, the exhibit featured a series of informative tarpaulins and engaging visual materials that presented the key points and enduring importance of the tribunal decision under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea or UNCLOS. These materials highlighted the ruling's affirmation of the Philippine sovereign rights within the exclusive economic zone and its rejection of China's expansive and unlawful 9-line claim. 2CRG also distributed educational leaflets to attendees, fostering informed discourse among the local community. Meanwhile, the Southern Luzon Command Active Band was also rendered musical performances that uplifted the patriotic spirit of the attendees. Said activity aims to promote awareness, national pride, and public support for the Philippines' peaceful and lawful efforts to uphold its maritime rights in the West Philippine Sea. This is Sena from Sulcom reporting for AFP Community News 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Sena.
DWDD National News.
And the Bureau of Immigration has uncovered a new kind of scam hub abroad with fake job offers. They primarily target unsuspecting Filipinos who are looking for overseas employment. Immigration Commissioner Joel Anthony Viado disclosed that the discovery of a so-called romance scam following the repatriation of a 24-year-old male victim from Phnom Penh after a successful operation coordinated with the Philippine Embassy in Cambodia. The victim narrated that he was required to initiate contact under the pretense of a mistakenly sent wrong message text, subsequently engaging in flirtatious exchanges with multiple individuals on various social and dating media platforms such as Tinder. Viado then urged the public to stay vigilant and cautious as trafficking hides behind online job offers.
DWDD National News.
And Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon has said that the National Bureau of Investigation and the Philippine National Police have joined forces to track down the suspects in the killing of an enforcer of the Department of Transportation. Dizon made the announcement following his visit to the wake of Hervin Cabanbang, who was an enforcer of the OTR Special Action and Intelligence Committee for Transportation. Cabanbang was killed by unidentified assailants earlier this month in what authorities suspect was an assault related to his work of enforcing transportation-related laws and operations. Dizon said President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has personally directed authorities to pursue the case relentlessly until the perpetrators are held accountable.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
We have some information from Jimboy about soldier athlete achieves victory at 2025 Sakada Obstacle Course Race. Jimboy?
A soldier athlete dominated the 2025 Sagada Obstacle Course Race held at Mega World Bacolod, covering a hard 6-kilometer course with 44 obstacles and finishing at the top. The win of Private First Class Jhai E. Albino of the Philippine Army highlighted the result of rigorous training, unwavering determination, and exceptional physical prowess. Here Triumph highlight the growing excellence of military athlete in national fitness competition and inspire fellow soldiers to embrace an active, disciplined lifestyle. The Philippine Army also extended its congratulations to PFC Albino for her stellar performance and champion spirit. This is Jimboy reporting for AFP Community News 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jimboy.
DWDD National News.
And the Land Transportation Office has officially cleared the license plate backlog. This came after the LTO produced over 18.5 million motorcycle and vehicle plates. According to LTO, The agency has produced more than 11.8 million motorcycle plates and 6.7 million motor vehicle plates. The figures are equivalent to 3.3 pairs of license plates, addressing both the current production needs and the backlog that had remained unresolved since 2014 due to logistical and procurement problems.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ordered the abolition of the Office of the Presidential Advisor on Military and Police Affairs. This is in line with the streamlining and right-sizing policy of the administration. The President, through Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, said or signed on July 11, 2025, Executive Order 89 scrapping the OPAMPA, which was under the administration of the Office of the Special Assistant to the President. Marcos said that it is imperative to revisit the need for a separate office in charge of military and police affairs within the OP. In accordance with the respective mandates, the President said the Office of the Executive Secretary, Department of National Defense, National Security Council, Philippine National Police, National Police Commission, and such other relevant agencies shall perform the duties and functions of OPAMPA subject to existing laws, rules, and regulations.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
We have more updates from Spencer about 8th Civil Military Operations Battalion marks its 15th anniversary. Spencer?
Yes, Rof, the 8th Civil Military Operations ng Pana Battalion celebrated its 15th founding anniversary with a Thanksgiving Mass, award ceremony, and cultural presentations. Brigadier General Benjamin L. Howe, commander of the Civil Military Operations Regiment, graced the event as guest of honor and delivered an inspiring address. The highlight was the Guerrilla Theater 2.0, a moving performance by the unit's visual and performing arts members, honoring General Eugenio Daza's legacy and steering patriotic pride. Rolf, furthermore, the celebration reaffirmed the battalion's role as a dependable partner in nation building and community support across Eastern Visayas. This is Spencer, reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Spencer. Let us hear more updates from Kath about Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief urges troops to ignore political noise and focus on duty. Kath?
Yes, Rolf, good noon. Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr. reminded soldiers to stay focused on their duties and not be distracted by political noise. He issued a statement amid discussions about Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr.'s Maltese passport, noting that the Secretary had already addressed and clarified the matter publicly. He emphasized the need for soldiers to concentrate on their missions as the country faces many challenges. General Browner also expressed confidence in Teodoro's strong sense of patriotism and nationalism. This is Kat reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Kath. And for our final news, parts of the Philippines are expected to have rains due to the southwest monsoon or habagat and the low pressure area of the southeastern part of Luzon. Pag-asa said that the LPA has been forecast to intensify into a tropical depression within 24 hours and will have its domestic name Krising. Pag-asa weather specialist Loredin de la Cruz Galicia said the LPA is already dumping rains over Bicol region, Eastern Visayas, Dinagat Islands, and Surigao del Norte. In most other parts of the archipelago, the Pag-asa forecaster said the southwest monsoon or habagat, which is closely associated with the rainy season, would continue to prevail.
National News.
And that's all for today's broadcast. Thank you for joining us, especially to our audience in our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time, same station. Again, this is Jhai Simbajon for AFP Community News. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.